to be behind the camera today, but what I want to do is do a Mckenzie-Childs craft challenge. I want to make some Mckenzie-Childs dupes, so I headed to the thrift store. I was specifically looking for some plates and platters, and I found a couple of plates. I paid just a couple of dollars for them. They're nothing special. They're not ironstone or anything like that. Matter of fact, the second one I know came from the Dollar Tree because I have this exact plate. I have several of them, so I know it came from the Dollar Tree. But I was also looking for like a cake stand sort of situation, and I found that at the Goodwill, and I think this is going to be perfect for what I have in mind. I'm just going to be doing the top of it, so it's going to be perfect. And then I found a platter that already had the courtly checked kind of outline around the perimeter of it. It was only 50 cents, so this is going to be hopefully easy for me to transform. I should be able to take a paint pen and just paint all of these little individual little checks all the way around it. So I think that'll be an easy one for me to do. And then I wanted to do some salt and pepper shakers, and I already had these. They came from Art's grandmother's storage unit and all the boxes of heirlooms that we got from her. They did need some TLC anyway, so I thought I would just go ahead and completely transform them. They are vintage. They are the Napco salt and pepper shakers with the copper bottom, and they were made in Japan. So they are truly a vintage treasure. It's missing the top of the pepper grinder, so I'm going to have to figure out something to do to fix that. But I'm going to go ahead and paint these up, and I think these are going to transform into a Mckenzie-Childs dupe really well. Another thing I really wanted was candlesticks that I could transform into a Mckenzie-Childs dupe, and I found these at the Goodwill. I am going to have to clean this one up. It has been repaired, and they used glue and didn't clean it, so I'm going to have to refix this because paint will not adhere to the glue. So we're going to clean this up and see if we can turn these into something gorgeous. They do have a lot of detail, so I'm gonna have to really think about how I want to use the detail to my advantage, if I can use the detail to my advantage. But for just a couple of dollars, this is a great way to, kind of see if I can do this little Mckenzie-Childs challenge. This is not going to be a tutorial. I really just filmed a few clips of how the process of doing these projects went. But I thought while you're watching my footage, I would talk to you about how I came up with this Mckenzie-Childs challenge. I've always really liked the Mckenzie-Childs look. I think it's very classic and very beautiful, but it was always very expensive and something that I really didn't want to spend my decor money on. And then the other reason is I never thought that it would really fit with everything else that I had going on. When I decorate with primitives, maybe it wouldn't go with that. When I decorate vintage, maybe it wouldn't go with that. But I've gotten to the point in my life where if I like it, I want to use it. So the first thing I did was looked up a lot of images to get some inspiration for the Mckenzie-Childs look. And then the next thing that I did was actually start researching Mckenzie-Childs brand. And what I did learn made me even more passionate about doing this challenge and incorporating more of the Mckenzie-Childs style in my home. And I thought it would be fun to share some of those things that really stuck out to me with you guys. And maybe you'll want to go research Mckenzie-Childs a little bit more too, and maybe even incorporate it in your home. Basically, I found out that Mckenzie-Childs' name is actually Victoria Mckenzie-Childs and her husband Richard Mckenzie-Childs. They lived in New York. They've had the Mckenzie-Childs business for many, many years. They started their artistry in clay and pottery, and they were definitely known for that courtly check and for her wacky way of using different colors and patterns, but the black and white check is what they're mostly known for. Originally, all these pieces were hand painted and handmade, so that's what gave them their uniqueness. Now, I don't have a very steady hand, so I found some napkins that I can use to decoupage to make my little dupe challenge a little bit easier on myself. And so that's what you see me here doing right now, and it works really well. So that's one way of getting this look very inexpensively and very easy, especially if you're not somebody who feels they have the skill to paint all of these checks on pieces. I'm going to pause my little story about Mckenzie-Childs right now because, as you see, I'm getting ready to do something extremely dangerous, and this is not something that I would recommend. But I left it in because I want you guys to see that, I do a lot of trial and error things. I do try to save myself time. I saw another creator do this with another project that they decoupaged. It wasn't a plate. It was like a piece of wood. And they made it look so easy. As you can see, this is dangerous. You could set your house on fire, and I'm lucky that I didn't. So back to our story. So the Mckenzie-Childs brand started to grow and become a major trend. People were really wanting to purchase these pieces, so it grew really fast, faster than Richard and Victoria could handle. And they ended up losing their company in a hostile takeover and a bankruptcy. And when it was all said and done, they lost everything, and they even had to sign away I don't know if they had to or how that necessarily came about, but basically they ended up signing, agreements stating that they would no longer operate under Mckenzie-Childs or do designs that were competing with the brand that they had created. And that just broke my heart when I read that. There is a documentary that an interview that was made about Victoria and Richard and the Mckenzie-Childs brand and all of that, and I'll link that in my description box below. But after just watching that and really researching that a lot, I feel like I'm honoring their legacy and their artistry by not purchasing from the brand that currently exists of Mckenzie-Childs, but doing some art of my own, being inspired by the real Mckenzie-Childs and being inspired by Richard and Victoria, and kind of making it my own and just being artless, as she would call it. She doesn't feel like anybody is really an artist. She says that we're all artless, and I still don't exactly know what she means by that, but I kind of get that she's a quirky, eclectic soul that loves to create and sees no boundaries in anything. And that just endears me to her because I agree. I think our imagination is exactly what we want and need it to be. And we can make anything we want. We can decorate however we want. We can make our homes as full or as minimal as we want. There are no rules. There are no lines. There are no walls. There are no boundaries when it comes to decorating and art and things like that. And so I'm thinking about all these things over the last week or two as I'm working on these projects, and I just have fallen head over heels in love with Mckenzie-Childs, Victoria and Richard, I should say, not Mckenzie-Childs, the brand today. That kind of leaves me cold knowing that they lost that. And it's okay. People make mistakes. People have bankruptcies all the time. It happens. That I don't care about. It's the fact that they signed an agreement that basically said that they can't compete or do their art like they would want anymore. They cannot compete with the brand that they created, and that just breaks my heart. So from now on, I'm going to create my own Mckenzie-Childs dupes. I'm not going to go buy it. I'm going to create it. Every time I look at my creations, I'm going to think of Victoria and Richard and thank them for their inspiration. I've had these painted every single color under the sun. I am struggling with these silly little candle things that I picked up at the thrift store. I'm gonna go back to painting them all white, and then I'm gonna put the decoupage napkin on it because I'm having the most luck with that. The whole purpose of this one was to do the Mckenzie-Childs kind of look and feel, and I have tried painting them black and white. That did not work because my painting skills, as you can see, there's no crispness to it. I could make it crisp. I could do it. But the problem is these little dots here. It's like, it's almost impossible to get a clean line because there's just these like grooves and stuff. It's just, and it's painstaking when I went through with a paint pen. No. Plus on this, these are like concrete. So it soaks in that paint pen. And so it kind of bleeds out a little bit. So it's just not going to work. So this will be my attempt number 6 at trying to figure out how to make these more of a Mckenzie-Childs kind of dupe. I wanted to add color, not just black and white, but yeah, I'm gonna have to start from scratch again. So here we go. I have had so much fun creating these pieces of art, and that's what they are to me. It's more than crafting. It is a way for me to express myself, and I put my heart and soul into every piece that I create. My channel will never be about crafting because I don't like doing tutorials, but I do like sharing my creations and art and the process sometimes. So I am thinking about starting to sell some of the items that I make. But I'm also more than that, I'm going to try to share more of my artistry this way by just maybe setting it to music and letting you see the process. Because I think it's fun. I like being inspired this way. I like seeing this kind of video. So for those of you that enjoy this kind of thing, I will do it, but I'll post it maybe on a different day. I'll keep Sundays as home tours and decorating. So that way the people that like the crafty stuff and the inspiration on that end can get it on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and then everybody else can tune in on Sundays for the home tours. But I'm definitely considering starting to sell my art. And yes, even the faux food I make, I consider that art because so much goes into making these things. I spend a lot of hours painting and sanding and researching and all the things that go into expressing myself through my faux food and the things that I make. And I can't wait to share them all with you, but I'm not ready to start selling them yet. But when I do, you guys will be the first to know. I have a full-time job, so this is not something that I'm doing to make money. It's something that I want to do and put out into the world. And if I sell it, then I can earn money to keep doing what I love to do, because my job goes to pay all my bills. And here is how the candlestick turned out. I think this is going to be gorgeous as I start decorating for Easter and spring. I knew right away that this little portion right here was saying I'm a cabbage. I'm some type of leafy green, and I needed to incorporate that. I think it's going to go really good with some cabbage wear. I did it again at the bottom, and I just think it turned out perfect. And here is how the stand turned out. I don't have any of my faux foods in this cake stand yet, but I will be putting some in there. And the salt and pepper shaker turned out really well. I think they turned out perfect. I couldn't have asked for better. I couldn't have asked for it to turn out any better. I think this turned out perfect. And I can't wait to stage them and decorate with them in our spring decorating that's coming up Sunday. Flower over here. The platter is also here. I did mess up right here. I got off count, but you know what? Nobody's gonna notice if they don't look close, right? But this is how the platter turned out, and it has my faux food on it. This is not something I made. This was a Hobby Lobby. This was not something I made. That was Hobby Lobby. But look at all of these amazing. That is fake. These are all fake. All of it is fake food. Fake food, even the radish. Look at that. Is that not the coolest? And what about this? Look at this. You got to just love air dry clay and polymer clay and all of those things. I mean, if you sit and just let your imagination just go, and you can come up with all kinds of stuff. You really can. How cool is that? The lemons are painted to be very realistic. And I still have more that I need to paint. The ones that I bought from Hobby Lobby, I just paint them up so that they look a little bit more realistic. Give them a little wart, you know, make them look very, very real. These are an Amazon find, and they are plastic. I have not tried to embellish them to make them look more real, but they work. I buy stuff and I make stuff. And here are the plates. I think they turned out really well as well. I couldn't be happier. Are they the real thing? No, but they are my own piece of art and I love them. So thanks for joining me and listening to me as I craft and create. And until Sunday when we do this all again, friends, I'll see you then. Bye.